Welcome back to Wall Again, where passion meets music. And we have Eric back again for another Led Zeppelin album review. Hi, Eric.
What's crack, Rob? How are you?
All good, man. All good. Are you ready for this? Led Zepp
Yeah,
2?
great. Led Zeppelin II, man. Great album.
Oh, you have the gatefold sleeve.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Love it.
yeah, it's pretty cool. There's not much on the back now, to be honest, but
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
very, very cool. I don't think you can overstate how important this album is to the
Yeah,
genre of hard rock. So I'm talking about bands like Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, um, even bands like Nirvana, Metallica. Um, what Rolling Stones, later stuff maybe.
yeah,
Who, Deep Purple, um, Black Sabbath. I don't know. This album is so impactful and such a big influence on all of those bands.
yeah.
Um, and this was the one that really started it off. I know Cream had Disraeli Gears, but there was a lot of stuff on that was kind of jazzy and a little bit wayward. But this one just gets to the point. It's heavy rock, hard rock, and it's blues influenced.
Yeah. Whole lot of Zepp.
Whole lot of Zepp, yeah, for sure. Do you want to take us off there then on the journey of Led Zeppelin 2?
Yeah, man, it's just a fantastic album in my opinion. It's probably one of my favorite Led Zeppelin albums. It's up there for me. I don't think it's a bad song. I know we say this all the time, like a broken record, but I don't think there's a bad song on this album. In fact, I don't think there's a bad song on the first four albums, but you'll get through all of that. But I mean, the first track there, "Whole Lot of Love." I mean, what's not to like about that song? It's just incredible. Like it's just it's a masterpiece.
One of the most iconic guitar riffs of all time.
Yeah,
Simple as that. You
yeah,
got your Smoke in the
yeah.
Water, you got your Layla, but this riff here,
Oh yeah,
hard, hard.
incredible. Yeah, incredible tune. Love the middle eighth. They kind of get like experimental with bows and whatever the hell they're using to make their kind of weird sounds. They were actually a very experimental band with their sounds. Like they brought in a lot of, especially during the time of this. They're messing around with organ Hammonds and kind of the later years with like synthesizers and timpani drums and stuff like that. So, I mean, they are doing a lot of you know um making new sound anyways, and it's you
100%.
can clearly hear that in a whole lot of love.
I would say, and even at that, right, I agree with you in the middle of Whole Lot of Love, a lot of experimentation there. But this album is probably their least experimental, in my opinion.
Mm.
After listening through all the albums for
Yeah,
years, I think this album it just gets to the point. Like it's just hard rock.
yeah,
So yeah, a whole lot of love, absolutely fantastic. One of the most iconic rock songs of all time, and rightly so. And then we get into what is and what should never be. Now, when I'm testing out, when we used to play in the band, right, and I was testing out the PA, I used to put on that song. You know the section where the guitar is panned hard right to hard
yeah,
left, and it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
over and back. I used to use that to test out the PA to make sure both speakers were working and at the right volume.
There we go. Yeah,
And even now, when the RCA cables, one sec.
yeah,
Well, these guys,
yeah,
the RCA cables, to make sure, because sometimes they're not coded correctly, so to make sure they're in the right plug socket, if I'm setting up my hi-fi system or a hi-fi system in general, I will use that song to see what's left, what's right. I listen to it on Spotify for a reference, and he
yeah,
goes right, left, right.
yeah.
Goes left, right, left.
Dinner, 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 dinner.
For that alone, but like to be honest with you, it's a great heavy rock song.
Yeah, Deadly Chun, Deadly Chun,
Absolutely.
Deadly Chun. Then you got the Lemon song, which is a good song as well. Really, really like that. Great. I love Robert Plant actually, and he's up there as probably one of the greatest frontman vocalists out there. He's just class singer,
The phrasing is unbelievable from Robert Plant on this song.
Yeah,
The humor, you listen to what that song is about and you listen to what he's saying. He's just so funny. And then he's got like this soulful voice as well. Like, he's a great blues singer, Robert Plant. Like,
yeah,
he took inspiration from like Muddy Waters and people like that,
yeah,
black American singers.
New
blues.
Orleans kind of, yeah. That's the I when I hear him, you can definitely hear like influences of like the New Orleans blues style.
Celtic
Definitely.
blues, the
Yeah,
South.
yeah.
100%. Led Zeppelin were so influenced by all of those fantastic artists, all the blues artists. So
Yeah.
it's great. It's great, and they really get it out in this song. I think this song is actually in a 12-bar blues, but I was speaking to Pat last or the other night about a song that was in a 12-bar blues on a Deep Purple record, and they changed it around. But to me, Led Zeppelin did a fantastic job of changing the 12-bar blues around to make this sound really interesting. And a lot
Yeah.
of it comes from John Paul Jones. The bass riffs on this are unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh
Lemons.
yeah. Yeah. Did you ever hear the story actually how I know kind of slightly off topic, but how Damn Crooked Vultures managed to nab John Paul Jones into their band? Dave Grohl covers it actually in his audiobook. It's so funny.
I've read this, yeah. So go on,
Yeah, so
tell the
funny.
audience.
They're actually in New Orleans, isn't it? They're in New Orleans band kind of come in and they're man into all the New Orleans stuff. And I think John Paul Jones is happy to be there or something, and Dave was there, Josh Homme was there, and they're like, "Oh, would you ever think about doing a band or whatever?" Just chancing his completely chancing his luck, like thinking, not a chance gonna do a band with this lad. But he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we'll set up something, we'll set up something." And like, is the mad that like all of that, the whole story of them how they meet and form bands, it's just crazy, man.
Brilliant. That's a great album, that Crooked Vultures album.
The first art. They have a second album, as well, don't they? I think they need a
I
second
don't
album.
think so. I think
No.
they only ever did one. And
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
not
it's
much
a class
chance.
album.
There's not
Yeah.
much chance they'll do another. Dave is lying low at the moment.
Oh yeah, he's hiding away from the media at the minute, anyways. So yeah, on to Thank You. Actually, that's a fairly decent song. It's one that they've featured as well, and like the song still remain. Yeah, it's a good tune.
Good song, yeah. Look, for me, it's a bit of a dip in the album because the album is like up there.
Yeah,
But it's probably a song that belonged on Led Zeppelin 3,
yeah, yeah. No,
but
to me.
it's still a great song. Thank You is a great song. And then Heartbreaker, of course, which a fantastic guitar riff, and then that solo in the middle, like a guitar solo with no other instruments. It's just Jimmy Page. And I listened to it again. I was in the car for a couple hours today driving. I had to listen to the solo in Heartbreaker, and I can tell you, like, it's not perfect, but it is the
It's rough.
emotion.
Oh, it's ready. That's what I love about it.
It's raw, and it's something you don't get these days. These days, like everything is played and is fixed and
Yeah,
in the right place to within a millimeter of its life,
over processed and whatever.
over
Yeah,
over processed. And this is not. This is just. But at the time, it was considered, fine, But
yeah.
I think now with the standards, you can definitely hear. But I wouldn't change the guitar
Oh
solo
yeah. But
because I
that's
think
what's
it's
that's what's
absolutely
brilliant
perfect.
brilliant about even Led Zeppelin's earlier stuff. It's raw. You can hear it. It's the lads jamming live and
No
all these
tricks,
mic'd up. You know what I mean?
no studio
Versus
tricks.
multi-tracking separate tracks. And then over processing. That's like I love that raw energy of the early Zeppelin albums. It's just amazing. Is
Yeah, Jimmy Page produced all these, but he would have been like the instruments have to be played. They can't be fixed.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like like the Beatles did use a little bit of trickery towards the end, and they had George Martin in the hot seat and people like that. But Jimmy Page they were like, we're a rock band, so we're playing this as a rock band. Now
yeah,
Jimmy Page did a lot of overdubs in terms of the guitars, obviously, because he was playing lead and rhythm, and he did a lot of overdubs with Robert Plant's voice. But to me, that was like a studio, just a little bit of embellishment makes the song sound better. But
yeah,
there's no tricks here. This is all you're getting what was recorded in the studio. They're not trying to give you something
yeah,
different. Um, then we have song number 6 is "Live and Love and Made."
yeah. I like the song actually.
Good song. I
Yeah,
don't think Jimmy's a big fan of it, but that's fine. And
yeah.
then it goes into Ramble On, which is what a rock song.
Oh yeah, yeah. What a groove. Ram off.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. That's again like Bonham style coming through there. On showing off his triplets and whatever on the right foot, like just unbelievable. He's a classroom. Was a
Yeah.
classroom.
I think he locks in that for me. Led Zeppelin. I love Robert Plant. I love John Paul Jones, but I think Bonham and Page locking together on these early albums, for me,
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. Now, as we go later into the Led Zeppelin discography, the other two members, I think,
take
shine
over.
equally
Yeah,
as brightly, should I say? But
yeah,
certainly in the early albums, on this album in particular, I think
yeah.
it's Jimmy and John locking in.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And then we have the drum
Moby
solo,
Dick.
Moby Dick.
Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ding, 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 ding.
We
What a
played
tune.
it, didn't we? We played this in McHugh's many times.
We probably did, man. Yeah, probably did. Segue into like other Zeppelin songs.
You used
Just
to have a
we
drum
covered
solo.
a lot of Zeppelin songs, didn't we, back in the day?
Yeah, and anything I could get into the band. You know,
Yeah,
I was a huge Led Zeppelin fan from like the age of 17 or something. And
yeah,
I was trying to constantly put more Led Zeppelin into the band. I would
yeah.
love to be in a Led Zeppelin cover band. But
Oh, absolutely.
I don't
Yeah,
know if I
it's
had the
funny. You'd
shout.
love
I
it.
would have.
But yeah, what a tune, man. What a tune. Moby Dick. Just, I mean, the guys, they play a nice fill, but like he starts to play with his hands then, and that was Bonham was so unique with a drum solo. He he'd be like, oh, these triplets and flams and whatever, and like then he'd get rid of the sticks and he'd be like hitting the toms with his, it's just incredible, like. But
Yeah,
that DVD again, I'll just show you. It's the Grand Canyon, that it's a collection of their kind of big live gigs.
brilliant.
But live at the Albert Hall, they do Moby Dick, and I think it's like 40 minutes long or something, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of a drum solo.
Yeah.
So if you're the drums, that's what you got to watch, man. It's probably up on YouTube and all now. Incredible drum solo, just incredible.
And then it ends with another classic, Bring It On Home.
Bring it on,
Absolutely.
great song. Yeah,
Great guitar in this one from Jimmy Page. Great guitar lick.
yeah, absolutely amazing album, man. You have to remember, same year they
Same
released
here.
this album as their first album. So like these
January
lads,
and October.
yeah, these lads were gifted musicians. Like to be able to pull material away and to have a legacy to talk about these two albums. Like they just sound incredible. You know what I mean? They really do.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at the clock here. We're running out of time. I need to organize this so we can talk for longer because I always seem to be rushing my guests on this
Yeah.
channel. But what marks out of 10 for you, Eric, on
It's
Led
an
Zeppelin?
it's a nine out of 10 for me. It's up there. It's one of my favorites from Led Zeppelin.
Brilliant. For me, it's 10 out of 10. I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah,
Like even Thank You in there is a fantastic song. Like
yeah,
if some other band wrote Thank You, it'd be a hit for them. So um,
yeah,
Thank You is a little bit of a low point among everything else, but it's still a 10 out of 10 album for me.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Incredible, man. Yeah, great album. Great album. And the
So,
album, the album art, if anyone's interested,
oh
it's a
yeah,
famous photograph from World War One, and they done a bit of a bit of airbrushing to put the band members' faces in there.
very good.
Um, that was pretty cool. But I tie it to the whole idea of the blimp or the Zeppelin flying, the pilots of it. Probably doesn't mean that at all, but to me, that's where I kind of make the connections with the albums.
Well, I never really dove into the meaning of the cover art, but that's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
But look, we're running out of time, and let us know in the comments, guys, what you think of Led Zeppelin II, one of my favorite albums. Eric absolutely loves it, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of appreciation for this one. And next week we have the very special Led Zeppelin 3, where things go completely different, and Led Zeppelin decide to shock everyone and do something completely different again. So looking forward to diving into that one. And I will see you, Eric, and I will see everyone else next week. Bye for now.